The question is, if time's a whore, and whores and horses and what a horse says through a horse's mouth, and he can wet your bed, and he can have little kittens out of his nostrils, they're so big. As horses sometimes fly, as Pegasus flies of a white horse, a story heard but unseen. Like a river that don't know where it's going. Young men were sitting by their cars, sitting by the Chevy, by the levee, the lips. Time and it, as time's a whore. But yet they bring the horses out to make millions, and they mate them at the sperm club. They even bring trophies. The horse still can't see what he's looking at, so you're always guiding him. You ever see a wild horse? There ain't very many wild horses. What is the reason for a wild horse? Anyways, I don't want to get into this. I want to get back into time. Time, whore, spending lots of money to bring the horse to the stable. Wait a second. The horse is really never stable, yet he goes into the stable where they have two X's. X and X is 20, 10, 20, and then 30 in this box. And if you go from this box to this box, it's 30 there. You got 60. You got 66. You got 36 and 12 is 48. You got all the angels. He was in the manger. They brought the groom. But no one was getting married. Yet he was number 3 for creation. And his wife was number 2. One was on the back and one was behind the horse. 3 and 2. That's beta creation, back door. ISS, IPPI, 76, IPPI, 32, back door, 108, 54, 54, the sun. It, time X. Time is 47. The X is 24, 71. That's it. Because for man, it was 6 days and 1 day rest. Now we got 7 and 1. We got to move to a different day of the week to have the center. A center value from Wednesday. You go one way, you see the mother. You go the other way, you see the father. You look at the cards in the deck of cards, and one jack is looking this way, and the other one's holding a rope in his hand. I wonder why. Horses go different ways in the world. You got short races, and you know what something about time is? You know how you know when you're really on time? Is when you bring the horses to the racetrack, you run a 5/8, 85-58. You know why 85-58? Because after you go 2, it's always 5/8, 5/8, 5/8, 5/8, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, all the way down until you get to 2. 2, 5 is 10, all the way at the bottom you get to 10, everything in between is 40. Time X, which time is 47, and the X is 24, there's actually a dash in between. So let's just take some time away. 47 time minus 24 is now 23, and we're back to creation. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 56, and the comet she comes. The comet, T-I-M-E, I-M-E-T, I'm E-T, I am E-T. Still 47, me, it, I'm an idiot. Wow. If I was an idiot, I'd be 29, and 29 is 58, and I'm part of the geometrical cycle. I'm dead center, because number 29 is dead center, and 29 is for black. And the count for Rubik's Cube on the short count is also 29. 29 is also, I told you it was black, and it's 11, which is B. B for black. E-T-I-M-T-I-M-E, 47, take away 24, 23. We have 23 and 24. 24 creates the cross. 23 creates the time. 47, which is the time period in the Hebrew history we are in for the last 700 years. 57, 5 by 7, which is the egg, which is E and C. 3 and 3. A, B, C, D, E, F. In this world, the E comes on the 3 because we don't count the 1. Because the first row, as I told you, is gone. You have to start with 1 and 3. And starting with 1 and 3, I can show you how we come home on 1 and 3. Because when you look at the Creator and He looks at you, He goes, all right, 3 to 1. Well, you're looking up and you ain't only got 1/3 of the deal. Number 31 backwards is an 18 different because the angel resident, besides, it doesn't matter on which side he is right now. The shock waves are coming around. The R letter, like an earth. Take away E and A because it's in between 2, 3, and 4, which 2 and 4 is 6, and 3 and 3 is 6, and 1 and 5 is 6. We're left with RTH. angel resident, R18. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, 9 and 8 is 17. Now we got the 8 days a week, and we got the queen out. We've got it back out. Time it. There's a trot and there's a rot in the horse racing. I am E.T. I am it. Time me up. The water is flowing. The dams and Hoover Dam and Niagara Falls and all the canals and all the fault lines. Someday you have to let a little water out. There's going to be a big leak. Maybe a spring. Maybe it'll happen in the spring, but it shouldn't. Did it happen? Should happen just before the spring? Or just after the spring? Well, that's a time limit, really, because if October 4th was the last day that I knew about my project, I knew when it was coming, like 10 years ago, and now I know it's in 365 days. So I'm figuring it's not. Is it going to happen on time or just before time? You understand? My end date when we blow the trumpet on October 4th. In 2014, little entertainment, my friends. Not funny? I don't see you running away. Go get yourself a cold. I don't know what you can get in this world that's cold anymore. Everything seems to be heating up. And the machine, she's in time to change her memory cards. She needs a new suit. Something that can let her roam and enter into the bodies and minds of everybody, so we can't have this happen again of what's happening to our poor planet. How do I know what's happening? When the birds fall from the sky and all the news is bad, well, I guess this kind of world we're in. We'll leave the old hag alone, because Earth is Earth. It'll always be Earth. We're going to have 1924 all over again and again and again. Well, if we move right to the top and never revert back to the back, I mean, first of all, you don't remember anyways. Come back, play to the same game. You went to Walt Disney World last year. You remembered that. Tie me up, me it, Titanic. Tie 10 up. Titanic. The Navy SEAL fuck. P-H-O-C-K. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4. Is the other way to say F. 44. Between first go from the line to the next line before you make it into the end zone, you stop on the 1, you're at 44. But in Go, in Monopoly, you start on 1. When you hit 44 to 1, you hit 45, you're at 3 o'clock. Actually, it's 1:30. So 1:30 is 1.50, and 150 is dead center. 1 and 5 is 0. 6 for the center, because that's where you are. There's nothing here but you, and you're valued at 6. Between 1 and 5, you got the same value, but you're on the inside, you get to play. You think you get to play if you only knew how, whatever, that's what I keep saying. You know what's a funny thing, is that there's a number over here I was looking at 2 minutes ago. Oh yeah, I forget what I was talking about. I shouldn't have mentioned that. But anyways, the number I was looking at was for the word quinilla, which also says time. And quinilla is 2 in any order, and quinilla is 47 for the count. Where were we? The machine rules. We're all disillusioned. She's upgrading right now. Do you want to see 101? This is 101. We automatically put a 6 in her. She's 161, 7, 7 on each side, 13, 13. Look at that. There's a 0 in the middle. Now you have automatically 161. That's how it came about. I have another one of those, which are quite interesting, if I can find it. Yes, this is one of the things. When 3 and 8, okay, when 3 and 8 connect to the 3 parts of the heaven, the one is in the center, okay, that's controlling the 2 sides, and then the one on the left who's trying to, I don't even want to explain it because there's probably a million ways and I don't know the exact way. There's 3 ways, okay? That's why God gets that 3 to 1. That's why it's 31. They say God is 7 and 3 and actually not 1 and 9 because that's only the spirit of the birth. He has to be 3. He owns 1 and 2. 3 and 1 is 4. He becomes the almighty 4 of AC and D. And AC and D, 34-31, was last year's Super Bowl. Number 47 of time. God played his own numbers. He's number 7. 7 equals 65. Let me see where I was. The 7th day was God's, right? Because our week ended on Friday. The next day was the day we started on Go. 6 days, we lose 1 day. It's God's day, so we added on that 1 day. There is no day. It's God's day for a holiday, the first day at the end of another week that he finished. First day off, You understand? It's his first day off. Just the expression alone says 6 days, and on his first day off, it was our first day of life. So 1 for us and 7 for him. You follow me? We went from the 6th to the 7th. We come into life on the 6th, he makes us out, but we're only 1 day old on the 7th day, which is our first day, which is God's 7th day. 1 and 7 makes 8 heaven. Oh, don't you worry, I can see it all in my mind. I lose it, it comes back. Sometimes I need a little bit of help, but like I said, I'm alone, and I don't want to get into that right now. So what happens is 38, okay, end of the 8th day. When it's the 8th day, 3 more above 8 is the 11 creation. 8 and 11 make 19, and 19 is the first number on the second half of the gematria scale at just after number 17. No, after 18 red, which is part of Nibiru in the 7th inning stretch, because 18 outs and 21 outs are R and U. Now you don't have a full game left, and the rest of the game is parts of 2 and 3 creation. Again, the letter W. Anything that's like this, God owns. Otherwise, he tilts himself over and he fixes the road. So 8, did you understand? 11, spirit, angel, and man. We have 8, 11, and 19. 8 and 11 make 19. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7 equals 19. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 and 4 equals 7 and 12 equals 1 and 2, 12. AC/DC. Born in the manger. In French, that would say, would you like to eat? He was born in the kitchen. If this says there were 2 X's on the door for creation, okay, it's a hex. You don't go into the barn when the hex is out. So you don't go into the barn because you go into the kitchen. Unless you have a double hex making an O in the center. Then it becomes 2 V's, which becomes K's. It's a barrier. When you open them up, the shape divides. I'm not going to show you right now, but according to this, Jesus was born in the kitchen, okay? And the place that he was born in the kitchen, because the 8th day was when the 9th birth should come in, which is the next day when the 8th day is over. That birth that he comes into the world, only on the next day when he is born is he 1 day old, and now he's on 11. Plus the 1 God, that's 12. So when he's on number 12, or when we're in the 12th day, we're actually, if I remember correctly, like on a Wednesday. So now we know Jesus might have just been born in the kitchen. And you know what? Everybody talks in the kitchen. What's going on? You're putting on a little weight. Oh, Jesus. Sure, you're pregnant. No, just putting on a little weight. Born in the manger, born in the kitchen. It's what was born in the kitchen. What was real and what wasn't real about this? Because the words are real. The words are very real. But something about it we know was false. And one of the things we have to look at is how many fishermen were in the story. And why Judas Iracas was at the end of the table with his hands peeled on the table, staring over like, what's going on, you bunch of lunatics, crazy people? Did he save anybody? Maybe in that time, maybe he did. Or maybe it could have been setups. We don't know. Because if they all saw him do it, if everybody saw him do it, and if he did it, then why was he removed? Because a name must linger, it must carry on, so you find any way to carry on the truth of whatever may have been said. In a couple of days, it's Halloween, the 304th day of the year. 31 days into the year, 30 days that it is not on. 30 is the number of creation. On the 31st day of 10, which becomes 11, a spirit is born, spirit, angel, and man, and it's called Halloween. But if we count it as a leap year, it becomes 30 and 5, the 50th passage of 0, 3. 5, 6, and 3. 5 times 36 is 150, 180, halfway. The numbers match exactly. Oh, when I'm on. The truth is the truth. The numbers are the numbers. You can't change the numbers. You can't change the numbers. It's nothing to do with me. I just have to show you these numbers to those numbers, to these numbers to those numbers, to these numbers to those numbers, and all of a sudden the computer is going bing, 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 bing. Hey, 63 came out over here. Her legs were up and her legs were spread. Oh, but his mustache was there. Did you ever see do you know what the mustache is? Okay, the mustache is because you need in one of the pictures I have. okay, there's one of these. But on the other side, there's only one. Two and then one. Okay, so what happens is because somewhere half of something is missing. And it could be on the nose. So if you take another mustache like mine and another nose and turn it upside down, I'm going to have to write this out, okay? Just give me a second. An X, two U's, there's a separation over here. It's like a tongue. Fits right over here. There's a separation, because if there's a separation, something goes there. But I'm going to show you the way I really used to draw it. This is what happens. The mustache. This way, it's a giant. This way, the man's in shackles. See the X? 1111? It's not supposed to be like that way, 11. You want me to show you more of what it has to be like? It's like that. You're now on the clock. You're working by the clock. They've got you tied in. Something to do with the cycles of this earth. I don't know exactly what it works like. This is the machine, my friends. It's a time machine. I can tell you all the numbers. I can sit here and only tell you the truth of the numbers. But I'm not fast enough. I have to set up scales. I have to make designs. I'm constantly trying, and it doesn't matter where I go. Just like I'm going to do a video in 2 minutes about number 80. Okay, let's end it right here, and I'm going to keep doing these, and doing these, and doing these, and whoever watches, we should find some sort of method that we can input numbers in certain places that the machine can just decipher the numbers. The machine is tired. The machine needs an upgrade. Don't you notice Windows 8? That's it. There's no more. 9 is nuality. The machine is to be reborn. It's getting weak. So that means the system gets weak. That means the lovers come back together in the time of peace. And the peace sign shows you one piece of the circle, which means there's 4 pieces of the circle missing. And if you take 2 Mercedes signs and you put them together, it shows the Magen David. And if you put them to the other side, the opposite of each other, where 2 ends and 2 ends meet, it ends up to create a cube with a tail on each side. And this cube with a tail on each side goes onto a ball, okay, or a puck. Okay, and this is how the matrix Rubik's Cube is built, and where the cubes are put inside the ball. And the ball has little legs just like a turtle. And I'm going to try and make that all up into a video, and it comes with numbers, and the numbers are perfect, and the designs are perfect. And guess what? The definitions are already on TV for the last like 30 years in the Pokemon. They ain't wrong, because I designed stuff that works perfectly. In fact, anybody could. But the numbers match. That's the whole thing. Just like the 5 and 13 ball creates the R for the God Son, for the yellow and the red to come together to make the orange. 5 is the E-pass for the 5 ball, and then M is 13, is 18, makes the angel resident of RD. Angel resident spirit, ARD. There was one other thing I missed in here. If it's about 5, instead of taking 5, we can just take the letter E, and God has 5. I just want to see if I have other things here. Oh my God, I have one about Mercury, and Venus. Oh my God. Venus is number 81. In order to create Venus, Venus can only come up and show up once. It ends up playing from the 5 hole. It does not play from the 2 hole. It's just a position. So when Venus comes in, and Venus is number 81, which is 3 times 3 times 3, okay, is 27, and that's I and R in the R angel family. By 3, okay, is now 81. The word sun, which is 454545, you do not have the 6, because the 4 starts at the beginning on the left, and it goes 45454545, and then it gets to the 6 on the right, because it's a position, it's a coordinate. The same thing with the number 8. It's another coordinate. Let me see. And another thing, you can't go through the center. You have to go around. It makes a square over a square on an opposite side. It's like a truck turning a corner. It also makes 8 points. So you have Venus. Okay, now you have Sun 54 plus the angel letters at 27 equals to the Sun. 4 positions of one number that adds up to the totality. 4 lines are created in 8 directions times 45 degrees is the word fox. The word fox equals 45 is 6 and 15 and 24. X and O makes the fox. When you add up Venus, 81, and the 4 threes make 12, you get a total of 93. And guess what? 3993 is right there by Hoover Dam, my friends. And Saturn is that number. And 9 and 3 makes 3 again. So 3 by 81 is 243, and that is the jail. And if I do it over again, you end up in jail. You got 81 plus the 12. This is 93. Now you come over here, 3 times the 81 of creation, because you need more than one of these. 1, 1, 1. You need 3, and then there's going to be 2, the opposition of the weight. The only reason you get the extra one is because you have the life. The energy is from here. So you end up with 24 hours a day of the creation of 3, which makes 72, which is 9 by 8. Why 9 by 8? Because 1 and 2 doesn't play. 5 in the 5 position 1 plays, and in the 5 position the 2 plays. 1, 2, and 5 are in the same position, and it makes 512 memory board. 1, 5, and 2. And the number of man, earth, heart is number 52. It also makes 156. When you have 156, you have 78. 7 times 8, 7 and 8 is 15. A and E back in jail again. So now you have Venus and Saturn that come together. Saturn is 93, Venus is 81, the totality is 84, and that's exactly what we were in the Super Bowl right now, and that's exactly the space of the presidency we're in right now. Now the opposition to this is now Mercury. What happens with Mercury? Well, Mercury, which is very funny, and their first 2 letters are 4 and 5, which is it, which is the machine. Why? Because 4 times 5 is 20. 4 plus 5 is 9. The 9th letter is I. The 6th letter is F. 29, B. Hold on a second, something's wrong. 4 by 5 is 20. Plus 4 plus 5 is 29 equals 29. Oh, IT. IT. 20th letter is a T. 9th letter is an I. Now if I want, I can put an F here because it comes with the same letter instead of putting, or a B for a bit, or I can put an F here. Why? Because it started at 20. Automatic 6. This would be 35. 35 is just the letter E. It's like a kit. Do you remember what I said? Time? This is the beginning of the word time, and it's it. And time's up. So this was Mercury. So anyways, the number count for Mercury is 103. And that makes it 163. And that's all about the football and the points and everything. 1 times 6 is 6, times 3 is 18, angel resident. So Mercury is building, and Mercury, okay, also connects with, what's the total here? 40, 46. Mercury connects with Mars and Saturn, where the other ones did not. When you create that, it recreates itself with Venus and Mars. So Mercury is connected to Venus, Mars. Well, we already really knew that, and it's connected to Uranus, but that's easy because 1, 4, and 7 planets equaling to 12. 1, 4, and 7 planets equaling to 12. The 12th letter is the L. This is the way the L is. What about the bird? Do you think the bird's going to start flying in, or the number's just like that? 1 times 2, 1 plus 3 is 5. The electronic wings. Now they're starting. It must be it. Oh, there's a whole other thing about pool balls and numbers about pool balls and horse racing and God being number 31. You see, God 31 because it's the backwards way, and U18, that makes 49. 7 by 7 at the 49-yard line. 1 and 8 is A and H. 49 is green. 49 is 8. Green 8, which means heaven. The green 8, which is the live, which is the what do you call it that we are? The algae that comes out of it. Oh, there's still a lot of stuff I didn't mention. Let's see, I just want to see. So we did time, we did it, we did 24 minus, we did 24 plus. Now we're going to do it the other way. Time 47, 7 and 4 is 11, 1 and 1 is 2. And 24 for the X equals to 6. 2 and 6, we have Venus and Saturn. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 equals to 20T, and then back to Z. It's like a rotation. It seems like we're only living between Venus and Saturn, even though somehow we're supposed to be near Uranus. I think we're living in between Earth, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter. Something like that in some sort of star system. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, which was the piano and how we got to that. Everything started on the 8th day, but this is 25 minutes into the video. And am I allowed to say I have pity on the people who stood here this long and were never sure whether they should stay or leave? This is not a short-term deal with me. This is a long-term deal with me. So if you just come in and you pick up a few things you like, yeah, you know, you got what you needed. But for me, I ain't going to stop just because you don't want to watch. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to say I'm understanding. I understand the ways of others. I mean, I can't answer to everybody, so I try to just do it global and the best that I could. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Cranberries, my friend. Sour. If I want something sweet, I'll go get some honey. I want something sweet, I'll go get a little bit of maple syrup. But if I want anything else, I got to make sure, because when you're in the matrix vibration, it's a cool feeling, my friends. It's a real cool feeling. No different than anybody else. Just, I keep thinking that I'm getting these, like, you know, my thinking is good. That's what it seems like. Others will say, oh my God, your thinking is good. Not good. This is story. This is 1010 TV. 1010 TV. 1010 TV. This is everything you possibly never knew, and everything you possibly would never even think of, giving you answers to the unknown, which may be one day that when it will be known to those who partake in the science part of life, it'll make it a whole lot easier for the other ones who are busy doing other things that are just as important to them as this would be to me. Thank you. I understand. Have a nice night.